She loved him in silence for years, never knowing fate would send him back to her. Not on a flight, not in a car, but in a suitcase drenched in secrets, blood, and love reborn from death. Stay till the end. The truth will shatter your heart. Subscribe now for more twisted love stories that will leave you breathless. No one at the bustling airport noticed the small silver suitcase rolling silently on the conveyor belt of lost luggage, except for Leah Hahn, a quiet airport staff member with tired eyes that had memorized the rhythm of departures and heartbreaks. For years, she had watched Ethan Liu, the young, untouchable CEO of the massive Liu Corporation, on the news, in magazines, and sometimes from afar. Every time his private jet landed here, her heart whispered his name. She was nothing to him, a nobody in uniform, a shadow who silently loved him from behind the glass walls. Yet fate had always played cruel games, and tonight, it was about to turn into a storm. That suitcase, tagged, confidential cargo, L Corp, had no claim, no owner, and no record. But when Leah opened it under the flickering security lights, her world shattered. Inside, half-conscious, blood-stained, and barely breathing, was Ethan Liu himself. At first, she thought she was hallucinating, the man she'd loved in secret, trapped like a ghost between life and death, hidden in a suitcase that carried his empire's seal. She screamed for help, but the cameras went black, her radio died, and all she heard was the faint whisper from his trembling lips, "Don't call anyone, they'll find us." Us, she repeated, frozen. Before she could question, a shadow darted behind her, a man in a black coat aiming a silencer gun. Leah's reflex saved her. She kicked the suitcase shut and ducked. A shot rang out. The bullet pierced the computer panel, sparks flying. She dragged the suitcase into a service tunnel, heart pounding, as the killer's footsteps echoed behind her. The tunnel was cold, lined with broken lights. She found an abandoned maintenance room and pulled the suitcase open again. Ethan's pulse was faint, his shirt torn, revealing a wound near his ribs. "Who did this?" she whispered, pressing a rag to stop the bleeding. "Someone I trusted," he rasped. "Someone inside my company. They want me erased before the merger." His hand gripped hers, weak but desperate. "Leah, you work here, right? I remember your face." That sentence broke her. He remembered. All those years of silent glances, stolen moments when she'd served coffee to his flight crew, thinking she was invisible, he had noticed. Tears blurred her vision. "I'll get you out," she vowed. She stole an old security van and drove through the rain, headlights cutting through the darkness as thunder roared over the city skyline. The suitcase lay open beside her, Ethan barely holding on. Every few minutes he'd slip into unconsciousness, murmuring cryptic words. "The suitcase contains the truth. Don't open the false bottom." She didn't understand until, hours later, hiding in her tiny apartment, she saw it. The suitcase had a second layer. Beneath the silk lining were files, documents, hard drives, and photographs. One image froze her heart, a photo of herself taken from somewhere across the street months ago. "Why, me?" she gasped. The next morning, the news broke. CEO Ethan Liu missing after private jet explosion, presumed dead. Leah stared at the TV as Ethan lay unconscious on her couch, breathing weakly. "They wanted everyone to believe he died," she whispered. But who were they? Before she could think, someone knocked on her door. It was Detective Rowan, from the city bureau. "We're investigating the Liu incident," he said. "You're Leah Hahn, right? You were on duty at the airport." His eyes scanned the room. Leah forced a smile, hiding the trembling behind her calm voice. "Yes, officer. Just another night." He handed her a card. "If you see anything strange, call me." That night, Ethan woke, fevered, delirious. She fed him water, whispering comfort. "Why was my photo in your suitcase?" she finally asked. He looked into her eyes that had once watched him from afar. "Because you saved me once before," he said softly. 3 years ago, the night my car was ambushed near the runway, you pulled me out before it exploded." "I never forgot those eyes." Leah gasped. She remembered that fire, the explosion, the man she dragged out of the wreckage before disappearing into the crowd. "You never looked back," he continued, "but I did. I searched for you." Their connection deepened over the next days, a bond forged in danger and unspoken love. He told her how his stepbrother, Adrian Liu, had orchestrated a silent coup, planning to kill him and seize control. The explosion on the jet was staged. The suitcase was supposed to be his coffin, but his loyal bodyguard smuggled him out instead, then died to protect him. Leah became his lifeline, tending wounds, decoding files, discovering the betrayal that ran deeper than either imagined. The files revealed Adrian's deals with underground syndicates, laundering billions through L Corp's charity wings. But there was one more name on those papers that broke Leah's heart: Detective Rowan. Her pulse froze. The man who'd visited her, the one who'd said, "Call me anytime," was part of the conspiracy. She turned to Ethan. "We need to leave, now." They escaped through the rain again, blending into the city's maze. But the world thought Ethan Liu was dead, and Leah, the only one who knew the truth, became a target. Posters went up. Wanted, Leah Han, suspect in CEO's disappearance. The media painted her as a fugitive who kidnapped the billionaire. For nights, they hid in abandoned buildings, surviving on instant noodles and stolen moments of peace. Somewhere between fear and tenderness, their love silently bloomed. Every glance, every whisper, every brush of their hands was heavy with emotion. "If I die," Ethan said once, voice trembling, "promise me you'll live." She pressed her forehead against his. "If you die, I die with you." The final act came when Leah discovered the encrypted file hidden in the suitcase drive, labeled Project Phoenix. It was a master file proving Adrian's crimes, and a revelation: Adrian had been funding human experiments in a secret lab beneath the L Corp headquarters. Ethan had tried to stop it, and that's why they wanted him dead. Leah hacked into the corporate server using stolen credentials. Alarms blared, agents closed in. "Go," she cried, shoving Ethan into an escape shaft. But he refused. He kissed her, fierce and desperate. "I'm not leaving without you." Gunfire echoed. The glass shattered. She fell, but his arms caught her. Together, they jumped into the storm below. The next day, headlines screamed: Adrian Liu arrested in massive corporate scandal, whistleblower evidence released. No mention of Leah, no mention of Ethan. To the world, they vanished. Months later, in a quiet coastal town, a small coffee shop opened under a new name, Suitcase Brew. A silver suitcase sat in the corner as decoration, its lock sealed forever. The shop owner, a gentle woman with kind eyes, smiled every time a man in a simple jacket walked in with 2 coffees. They never spoke of the past, but sometimes, under the golden sunset, their hands would brush, and the silence would speak everything. But fate wasn't done. One night, a stranger entered, placing a letter on the counter. It bore the seal of the bureau and the name, Rowan. Inside, a single note: "I know you're alive, and I need your help." Adrian escaped. Leah's fingers trembled. She looked at Ethan. His eyes were no longer the eyes of a hunted man but of a warrior ready to protect love again. "Are we running again?" she whispered. He smiled. "No. This time, we hunt." The camera pans out. The suitcase glints under the dim cafe light, a symbol of the love that survived death, betrayal, and fate's cruel games. And as thunder rolls in the distance, Leah whispers, "Love didn't just arrive in a suitcase, it was reborn in it." What would you do if the man you secretly loved for years appeared in front of you, broken, hunted, and hidden in a suitcase? Would you run, or risk everything for love? If you felt that rush, hit subscribe now, and don't miss the next miracle love story.